Imagine dreaming every night of a dashing man in a magnificent home, drawing you closer. For Eka, this wasn't just a dream, it was a nightly ritual. She'd see this handsome stranger, his presence in the splendid house a constant, alluring vision. But as Eka dreamt tonight, a chilling reality unfolded. A demon lurked near her, a clear sign she was already caught in its insidious snare. Well, when Eka woke up that night, she felt a wave of happiness as her husband came home, but that was quickly followed by anger because he'd started coming home very late every day. Eka asked her husband to put everything in its proper place, and he did, but then we see a demonic hand scatter everything, which infuriated Eka. This led to an argument between Eka and her husband, and he, angered, left without eating his meal. The next day, Eka went to work and told her friend about her troubles, saying she felt her husband had changed and wasn't paying attention to her like before. Her friend then pointed out that Eka hadn't been treating him the same either. She wasn't speaking sweetly to him or getting ready for him. She told Eka that if she wanted her husband's attention, she should dress up nicely for him that night. Meanwhile, Eka's husband, Ariel, was also worried about the same thing, that Eka wasn't happy with him. He mentioned this to his senior, who advised him to go and talk to Eka gently. Now tonight, as soon as Ariel came home, Eka was beautifully dressed and also spoke to him kindly. They had a very good day. Just as Eka wanted Ariel to show her love, Ariel did. But during this time, we also see that demon present with both of them. Well, Eka soon fell asleep, and in her dream, she saw the same handsome man again. But tonight, that handsome man was angry. He told Eka, "You cannot escape my control." Eka's eyes flew open in fear upon hearing this. In the dream, that man had also placed a flower on her stomach. Eka woke up terrified and saw the flower lying on her bed, and now her husband, Ariel, was gone. When Eka went downstairs, Ariel had prepared breakfast for her. Both of them decided to start a new life by apologizing to each other for their past mistakes. When Eka arrived at work today, she saw the same flower in the storeroom that had been on her bed. As she tried to pick it up, another hand snatched the flower first. She looked back in fear and saw the handsome man from her dream standing before her, moving quickly towards her. Eka didn't know why she felt scared of him, but as soon as she saw his reflection in the mirror, she became even more terrified because in the reflection, he looked like a devil, which made her vomit. And when she went to the restroom, her friend came in, looking for her. Eka left without talking to her, and her friend was deeply disturbed after seeing her vomit because it contained blood and many worms. In the evening, Eka met her sister, and through their conversation, we learned that Eka loves children but, despite being healthy, hadn't had any children yet, and doctors were prescribing them some medication. She now asked Ariel to bring her medicines, and as he received Eka's message, he noticed Eka in his empty office building. Surprised, he called out to her, but Eka started running. He chased after her and saw Eka's appearance suddenly turn mysterious. Her belly swelled, she became pregnant, and while screaming, her child was born, and it was utterly demonic. That child then started moving towards Ariel, while Eka kept smiling at him in a creepy way. To save himself from the child, Ariel ran and bumped into his senior. He was telling his senior everything about how Eka was after him, but when he looked back, no one was there. Ariel took a leave and came home, where he saw Eka was normal and talking to him normally, but Ariel was behaving strangely with her, and she sensed this. He told Eka to call the home healthcare nurse tomorrow morning and then went to sleep. Even while sleeping, he kept seeing all the visions from the night, making him feel scared over and over. In the morning, the woman Ariel had called came and started massaging Eka. While doing so, she told Ariel that Eka was 3 months pregnant. Hearing this, Eka became overjoyed, but Ariel became very sad. She couldn't be 3 months pregnant because Ariel and Eka hadn't been intimate in 6 months. Ariel discussed all these things with his senior, who advised him to talk to Eka himself about everything. Here, Eka was ecstatic, as if she had found a treasure. She joyfully told all her colleagues about her pregnancy, but we see that Eka's friend wasn't happy today. She was worried for Eka because the previous day she had seen worms and blood in Eka's vomit, which was not a good sign. But Eka was overjoyed, so she dismissed her friend's concerns. Here in the parking lot, Ariel heard a child crying from inside a car. When he went and checked the car with a light, he saw a demonic child inside. Seeing this, He ran away in fear, and as soon as he fled, we see the demon holding that child. After going home, Ariel checked Aka's phone because he was suspicious of her, and he found a chat with a boy on her phone. When he asked Aka about it, she told him this boy was her childhood friend who was just talking to her after a fight with his wife. There was nothing between him and Aka. She was now understanding why Ariel was doubting her, so she angrily told Ariel that tomorrow they would go to the lab, get the test done, and she would prove this child is his. Agreeing with Aka, they reached the hospital in the morning, where, when the doctor examined Aka, it was found that Aka was not pregnant at all. So what was all this that was happening? The doctor explained that when a woman desperately wants to become a mother and obsesses over it, such changes often start appearing in her body that she begins to think she is pregnant. The home healthcare nurse had also told her she was pregnant just by looking at her body's shape, although there was nothing like that. Hearing all this, Aka became even more upset, and Ariel felt terrible for doubting Aka unnecessarily. Aka was devastated. She went and shared everything with her friend. Her friend told her that whatever was happening to her was not right. That's why she took Aka to her teacher, Zaini. As Zaini saw Aka, he noticed the same demon behind her and understood that Aka was in serious trouble. Now he called Aka and her friend inside and started telling them about such jinn, whose purpose is to ruin people's married lives. Here, he asked Aka if she had any dreams or delusions. When Aka told him about her dreams, he told her that she was possessed by such a jinn, one that destroys people's homes. Now Aka also told Zaini about her pregnancy. Zaini said, "You are not pregnant, Aka." And on hearing this, she got even angrier. Aka's condition was very poor, so her friend stayed with her for a long time until she fell asleep. After that, she left to go home. She saw a kitten on the road, which she picked up and placed safely on a ledge so no one would run over it. But suddenly, she felt strange. When she looked back, the same jinn was there, the one she had taken Aka to Zaini to be saved from. That's why that jinn was burning with rage, and it attacked and killed Aka's friend. Aka saw all this in her dreams and woke up in fear. She was also hearing noises from outside. When she went out, terrified, her friend was lying dead, just as she had seen in her dream. Her friend's death had left Aka shattered. Aka also started feeling guilty, believing her friend's death was her fault. When Ariel came home, he found Aka crying hysterically. As Aka told Ariel the whole story, Ariel felt the sadness too. Now, while crying, Aka's belly swelled up so much, as if she had become pregnant. Seeing this, both of them got worried. Anyway, the next morning, Aka told Ariel about those dreams she used to have every day, the ones Zaini had said were shown by the jinn. Now Ariel felt it was best to take Aka to Zaini. Zaini realized how much trouble Aka and Ariel were in, so he agreed to help them. And here, Aka's exorcism began. That is, the process of getting rid of the demon was started. But this demon was very powerful. It entered Aka's body during the exorcism and told them in a terrifying voice that they couldn't separate this demon from Aka because, in another world, Aka had married this demon. After which, the demon left Aka's body, and Aka felt intense pain. Zaini told Ariel that this demon ruins the lives of couples in this way, and it was very important to get rid of it. To do so, he taught them some verses they had to recite every day. They kept reciting those verses for 14 days, and indeed, their life became much more normal than before. Reciting these verses also stopped her from having those dreams. But one day, Ariel told Aka he had to go out of town for some work. Although he didn't want to leave Aka in such a condition, going to another city would bring him a lot of money, which would solve all their financial problems. Aka told Ariel, "You should go, I'll take care of myself." After her husband left, Aka recited the same verses and fell asleep. But we see a strange presence in her house tonight. That jinn had come back, and he was going to take advantage of Ariel being away from Aka. When Aka left for work in the morning, the eyes of all her colleagues changed. They started moving towards Aka in a scary manner, saying in mysterious voices, "Aka, you cannot leave me." Aka got very scared of all these things and called her sister to come home at night. Aka had now told Ariel about all these occurrences on the phone, that all this had happened to her. Now Ariel called Aka's sister and told her that whatever happened, she should not let Aka sleep because this had happened before, when her friend had taken her to Zaini. After Aka fell asleep, the jinn had killed Aka's friend. And now, if Aka fell asleep, the jinn could definitely attack both of them. She kept Aka engaged in conversation, but while talking, Aka fell into such a deep sleep that she couldn't resist. Her sister tried to wake her up by shaking her very hard. When Aka didn't wake up, the jinn suddenly attacked her sister. He first touched her shoulder and then lifted her and threw her down from the bed. Aka's sister came out of the room in fear. Then some invisible entity lifted her and smashed her against the wall, and Aka's sister fell unconscious right there. When Aka woke up briefly after a while, her belly had swelled again, and she was feeling immense pain. Seeing this, she got furious and started staggering downstairs. She didn't even see her sister slumped near the stairs, unconscious at this time. Aka took a hanger and tried to remove the baby from inside her, but failed. By the time Ariel reached there, Aka was in a terrible state. Ariel revived Aka's sister, and then he immediately took Aka with him to Zini's house, where Zini gathered many other people. And here, the exorcism of Aka was started. Many people were reciting supplications, and here, inside Aka's dream, we were seeing another world, the world of Jinn. In that Jinn's world, she could also hear the prayers recited by all these people, and she wanted to leave this world with the help of these prayers. But then, that Jinn came and said to her, "You cannot leave my world." Aka got scared of him and started running here and there, and her running angered the Jinn. He suddenly came to Aka and grabbed her from behind. As he grabbed her in the Jinn's world, here in the real world, Aka became completely possessed. She got up from the bed, and her bed also rose into the air. Her eyes had also become demonic, and she was laughing with a roar, just like Jinn. These people had now started reciting their prayers even louder, which was also causing the Jinn a lot of pain. That Jinn also tried to scare Zini, but Zini was not scared. Now that Jinn also started feeling pain, and he loosened his control over Aka. As Aka and her bed came down to the ground, Ariel started reciting the same verse in her ears. And in this way, Aka saw in her dream that Ariel was telling her, "I need you, come back to my world." And here in the world of Jinn, Aka put in all her effort to free her life from that Jinn. In the world of Jinn, she could still hear the prayers recited by all these people, which, when she herself started reciting in the world of Jinn, then the world of that Jinn started getting destroyed. And here in the real world, we see that Aka is no longer possessed, and finally, this ritual of Zini worked, and Aka was freed from that Jinn. She was now completely released from that Jinn's grip. Ariel and her sister were very happy to see this. At the end of the story, we are shown the time 6 years later, where Aka now had 2 children, and their life was now normal. We see that when Aka's children were playing outside, Aka's sister went to get them, and we see the same devil outside the house, who was in human form at this time, and he was looking so mysterious to Aka's sister. It is implied that the Jinn is not able to completely possess Aka now, but he did not go too far from her. As the film draws to a close, we are also shown the real woman on whom this movie was based. This means this movie is a true story, and it ends by showing an interview with that woman.